All right, today we are jumping into one of the most talked about, most debated AI stocks on the entire market, Palantir. This is a company that's right at the center of the AI explosion, and man, it has investors completely divided. So, what's the real story with Palantir? Is this thing the absolute best AI play for the next 10 years? A true game changer in the making? Or is this all just hype? A massive bubble that's just stretched to its breaking point, ready to pop? That is the question we're digging into today. Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the Palantir paradox. Then, we'll dive into the super strong bull case, followed by the equally loud bear case. We'll see what the analysts think, and then we'll get to the most important part, your call.
So why a paradox? Well, Palantir is a true battleground stock. I mean, its shares have just gone parabolic, soaring over 175% in the last year alone. And that kind of insane run-up creates a huge divide between the true believers and the skeptics who are screaming danger. That right there is the paradox.
Okay, so let's start with the bulls. Why are so many people willing to bet the farm on Palantir? Well, the whole argument really comes down to one thing: total and complete dominance in operational AI.
And if you want proof, just look at this number, 121%. That is the year-over-year growth in their U.S. commercial business. Now, for a company that got its start deep inside the government, this is just incredible. It shows they're not just growing in the private sector, they're exploding. This right here is the engine of the bull case.
And it's not just one number either. The whole picture is just, wow. They put up record-breaking results in their last quarter, with overall revenue shooting up 63%. It was so good, they actually had to raise their guidance for the entire year. This isn't a fluke. It's a pattern of just massive, accelerating growth.
So, where is all this coming from? Well, they're firing on all cylinders. Their main product, the Artificial Intelligence Platform, or AIP, is getting snapped up by customers. They're making huge partnerships with giants like NVIDIA. Their government business is still crushing it with big deals from the Army and Space Force. They've even got this new sales model called boot camps to get new customers up and running faster than ever. And the best part? Once they land a customer, they don't leave. In fact, they spend more. A net dollar retention of 134% is just, it's the best in their class, period.
But what's their secret weapon? The real magic trick. It's something called the ontology framework. Now, don't let the name scare you. Think of it like a living, breathing map of an organization's entire data universe. It connects the dots in ways no one else can to solve problems that are, well, otherwise unsolvable. Analysts basically say there's no real competitor to this. It's their moat.
And to really wrap up the bull case, just listen to this from the CEO, Alex Karp. He says, even with all this insane success, we are still at the very start of things. He thinks this is just the first page of the first chapter. Talk about confidence.
Okay, that is a powerful, powerful story from the bulls. But, we got to look at the other side of the coin. So now let's dig into the bear case and see why so many people are so worried. And that's the obvious question, right? I mean, with growth like that, with technology like that, how could you bet against it? What could possibly go wrong? Well, the bears have a very simple, one-word answer for you: valuation.
This slide pretty much says it all. Take a look at the price-to-sales ratio. Palantir is trading at nearly 99 times its sales. To put that in perspective, a monster like Google's parent company, Alphabet, trades at just over 5. That is an absolutely astronomical premium.
And hey, it's not just compared to the old tech giants. A note from Morningstar pointed out that even compared to other AI companies, Palantir trades at a crazy premium. Their conclusion was pretty blunt. The risk you're taking for the potential reward at this price is just poor. And it's not just the price tag. Bears will point to a whole list of other risks. The stock is priced for perfection, which means even one tiny misstep could cause the stock to absolutely crater. Competition in AI is getting fierce, with every big tech company and a million startups jumping in. Palantir's choice to only work with Western allied nations also puts a ceiling on their potential market. And while the US is booming, their growth in Europe has been called, well, stagnant.
So you've got the raging bulls and the very cautious bears. But what about the folks on Wall Street who get paid to analyze this stuff? Let's take a look at what the pros are saying.
Well, when you look at what the analysts are saying, there's a really clear theme here. Morningstar calls it overvalued, saying the price causes heartburn. Argus Research says hold because it's too richly valued. The Motley Fool calls the valuation stretched and the stock high risk. You see the pattern? They all seem to love the company, but they hate the stock price.
All right, we've laid out the evidence from both sides, we've heard from the experts, and now it comes down to you. We've reached the final section, your call.
So here it is, the whole debate on one slide. The bull case, you have a revolutionary company with a one-of-a-kind technology and growth that is just off the charts. The bear case, you have an amazing company, yes, but a dangerously overvalued stock that's priced for absolute perfection, with huge risks if anything goes even slightly wrong.
And that really brings us to the ultimate question. It's a classic Wall Street fight. Incredible technology versus an incredible valuation. In the long run, which one of these powerful forces do you think is going to win out?
And now, we really want to hear from you. After seeing all of this, where do you land? Are you a Palantir bull or a Palantir bear? Drop a comment below and let us know the single biggest reason why. We want to hear your take.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe to The Bull vs. the Bear. We do this for all the market's biggest battleground stocks. And you can click right here to check out our analysis on another tech giant. Thanks for watching.